Welcome to another edition of the Empower Hour. I am AlQamar.
And I'm Hanifah.
And we are your hosts each and every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. where we come to you with impactful topics of discussion that affect our everyday lives. Today will be no different. Today's topic is hot topics.
Ooh.
Hot topics in and out the news. So we need your help. We need your help out there. So what's going on out there? What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind that you want to get off your chest and all that kind of stuff?
So what's trending that you have a strong opinion about?
Yes, all that good stuff. So we right here, we have the streams up so we can see Wasita and Chris and other folks that are online with us right now. Thanks for watching and definitely share. We're going to jump right into the discussion.
Yes.
You want to start us off?
No, not really.
No?
No, actually, I wanted to, yes, I can.
Okay.
There was a young lady that I was reading an article about, Chilam Ahmed, that's her name, Eritrean American. Well, she's American born and from a Eritrean family. So she was born in America and then went back to Eritrea to live with her dad.
Okay.
So her dad was like some sort of counsel to the president at that the president of Eritrea.
Okay.
And I think there's some stuff that went down that the article, they weren't really saying what it was, but let's say dad was in some sort of trouble with the administration.
Okay.
Right? So he fled, left her behind, and the plan was to sneak her across the border. Yeah, she was 15 at the time. Now she's 22.
Okay.
And they have no idea where she's
I
at.
heard about that.
Right. And so I think the family were saying that they were expecting America to maybe step in because she is an American and but first generation American. And I think a lot of people were saying, well, y'all, first of all, y'all black. Second of all, I mean, both her parents are Eritrean, and it just brought me back to the missing girls.
Yeah.
And just how we pick and choose. The media does pick and chooses why, and that's why I try not to get caught up in the sensationalism of stuff because they pick and choose what they want to be a hot topic or what they want you to take as important. And I started to think about all the other people just in DC alone, missing young girls, and just human trafficking itself. Because people was like mentioning maybe she could have been human. She was a beautiful girl. Maybe she could have been human trafficked. Maybe she could have been sex trafficked, or she could have been sex trafficked, or they would say maybe she's even dead. Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
He's sleeping.
That little one, that's Hanifah's new baby boy. So, this is our way, taking the page from Imhotep's book. This is how we do it around here. We're collective, we're village. So, I mean, the baby is here, so we have to keep it moving with the baby. But I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So, it brought me back to just how it was a hot topic to talk about the missing girls in DC at one point and how much that has died down. And just, I feel like we don't talk about sex trafficking enough. Yeah, I think it's because a lot of us, when we talk about it from a privileged place, meaning like we don't know anyone personally that has been trafficked, or we ourselves haven't been involved in it, and so it's easy to forget about that. So that story of that little girl, not little girl, she's a young adult now. They have no clue where she's at.
Was she in? She was in prison.
Yeah, she was with no charges. So what happened was she was going to meet her dad, and she got stopped at the border of Sudan.
Yeah.
And they took her.
Right.
And
they had her this whole time.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. And so now the parents and stuff are saying they have no clue where she's at. At this time, she's like 22. So it's been about 6 years. Wow. That's a long time.
That is
I know like if our loved ones are arrested or, here in America, you can go visit them. You can have an idea.
Right.
I'm saying if they actually got jailed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And the idea that they haven't seen their daughter, it's just
mind-boggling
for me. Yeah.
I agree. And it's funny because I was just told last night, I didn't hear, this is third-party information, that a black couple became missing from Dominican Republic.
Yes,
you heard about
New Jersey. Yes,
from here.
Yes.
So they checked out of the hotel. They should have been on their way to the airport, and they never boarded the plane. and they can't find a car, and they can't find them. And it's been, what, about a week or something now?
Yeah, they said, no, because they said the rental car was missing too. Yes, yeah. So something happened between them leaving their hotel and getting to the airport. Yeah.
And they can't find these people. And this was in Dominican Republic, and they were from Jersey, black couple.
I want more of that story, though, because I was just like, were they just on a regular vacation? Like, I want some more background.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's what I'm interested in. And this is not accusatory in any way, but I was like, I hope they weren't involved in any, like, trafficking of anything, or I'm just saying. So I was like, let me wait and see if I can get some more story before I even more about the story before. Yeah,
that's
you never know.
I don't know anything about it. I'm hearing third party, but that's good information to have.
I just kind of wanted us to touch on that, to just keep that awareness going. You know what I mean? Like when Sister Sudan was on the show talking about things to look for.
Right.
You know, like how would you know if someone is involved in trafficking? You know, there's a lot of prostitutes that we see on the streets, late at night, and for us, we think it's of their own volition. We think this is their own choice, their own choosing, and so therefore, and I think for us, it makes it easier for us to judge them, because it's like, well, she's grown. That's how we see it. She's grown.
If she
out
don't want
here.
to do that, she could just stop.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
the same scenario that went down when the whole R. Kelly thing broke. You know, and those young girls, they can just leave. They, you know, without understanding the mental and the psychological chokehold and stronghold. We would have said the same thing about our ancestors back during in slavery time. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't they all just rise up, kill, it's 200 slaves on a plantation and 3 slave owners. Why didn't they all just rise up and kill those 3? So, you know what I'm saying? We don't understand psychologically what happens to you.
And with that,
when you're
you got to remember,
predicaments.
you're born into that, because think of children who are born in incestuous families where there's a lot of incest going on.
Right.
If you're born into that, that is your norm.
Right.
You see nothing wrong with it unless, maybe I feel like biology, maybe sometimes someone would say, you'll hear someone say, I knew it was wrong because they were forced, but then you also hear stories where it's like, I thought this is the way it's supposed to be. And every household was like this.
Right.
Because when you're born into something, that's a whole different playing field.
That's a good point.
I think those who were brought over on ships probably fought more than those who were born into slavery.
No doubt.
There's a big difference.
No doubt. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, they say that's one of the reasons behind the whole Haitian Revolution, because so much of those people had the Haitians were first generational, and they never took away a lot of the things that was taken from us. The whole kind of warrior spirited stuff. Anyway, what's going on? Mental slavery is real. I agree, Wasita. I agree with that. What's going on in your world? What do you want to talk about this week that's out there right now that we can discuss with your help, Facebook family? I want to jump into Nipsey Hussle, of course.
Oh,
yes. Rest
That's
his beautiful
definitely
soul.
a trending and hot topic right now.
Rest his beautiful soul. It's a lot around this murder as well. A lot involved.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So
because at first, when it first came out, everybody was like, I think some people still feel that way, that it's still government involvement.
Right. Right.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah, and that was another thing I heard.
And then they're saying that it's someone that one of his own is who killed him. But I think people tend to forget that if it's one of his own that killed him, that doesn't mean it's no government involvement.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So sorry, baby.
Yeah. I found it here lately. His mom. Have you heard about his mother here lately? And she's coming out with her beautiful spirit self, and I'm like, oh, I can see why he has such a light.
Yeah.
Because he, just listening to her. Coming from her. She sound. I saw pictures of the dad, but I haven't heard anything from him.
Right.
And so I found it interesting that she's rooted in African spirituality.
Oh yeah.
His mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was speaking about,
When I saw that, I was just like, that's really peculiar to see, because I find like a lot of she's East African. You don't really find a lot of them in. Not to me, no. That was just my observation. Yeah, maybe West African.
Okay.
But not really East African. That's more art Christian.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
So she's a little bit against the grain.
Apparently so. I was like, and then the way she has no accent. Like, was she wasn't born here, right?
She didn't seem to have accent. That's what surprised me when you told me she was East African.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
She didn't sound like she had.
Because they're Eritrean, and I was like, but maybe she was here since she was a little girl. I'm not sure.
What do you guys know anything about his mom and where she's from? But yeah, she gave a beautiful speak. Shout out to Queen, Sister Queen out there, that she was recording her yesterday, and she kind of shared, she said, don't
she
be
was at peace.
sad. Don't be more. She said he's at peace, and she went on through the whole, he's never died, he's not dead, his spirit will live forever. And I just thought that was a beautiful message for the people.
I watched some of it.
Yeah, good stuff. So shout out to Nipsey Hussle's mom.
So what is your opinion around the murder?
Oh gosh, of course I have my opinions, because I don't trust nothing that I know. We have enemies, and I don't trust the enemies, and I know how they work. I mean, I asked the question publicly the other day: when did COINTELPRO end?
Right.
When did it end?
Right.
I mean, we are out here acting like, conspiracies
it was a one-time
don't
thing.
exist. Yeah. So I get that he was a brother from the hood and he had issues, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, but he was a known informant. People were like, he was just a snitch, he not an informant. Well, what's the difference? What's the difference? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so he was a known informant for the government.
The brother that they say killed him.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the streets. But this is all not a conspiracy. This is all just hate. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't have all the answers. I don't have, and I don't even like to try to predict and things like that, because, it's so 50-50 in that, but I do not trust I know we have enemies, and I don't trust my enemies.
But that's one of the things that, I'm with you. I'm not going to even presume, but one of the things that I noticed was, once it came out that it was someone that he knew or whatever, like, people was like, see, y'all idiots like to jump on everything. It wasn't the government. It was somebody that he actually knew. And I was like, how do you guys why don't y'all think it could be both? Why don't you think that the government could use one? They've always done it.
Always.
Who do you think was informing on the Black Panthers? They
Malcolm
use
X.
our own to infiltrate, number one. Like, that's just how that works.
Right.
You know what I mean? Always.
That's how they do it.
Right. So when people were saying that, I was confused. I was like, okay, a black brother killed him.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that there's no connection to the government either, though.
Right. I agree with you. And then at the same time, I think about the whole root cause of things, and it's like, either way you look at it, the enemy killed them. If you peel back all the layers and dig into the root causes of even why we out there killing each other the way we are, you know what I'm saying? If you don't understand how Neely Fuller put it, if you don't understand racism and white supremacy, you lost. You really don't understand what the life and time we living in. So what do you say? Anything else will only confuse you. If you don't understand racism and white supremacy, everything else you think you understand will only confuse you. That's the quote.
But you know what? The one of the things that I'm glad, it brought a lot of attention to health.
Yes.
Because Dr. Sebi.
Yes.
So a lot of people are starting to look that up, even though there are still people out there who are doubters. And it's sort of like, no, Dr. Sebi was a fraud,
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
How prevalent and how abundant the information is out here, but you still will choose to deny that. You know what I'm saying? It's like all you got to do is look the brother up. He
Yeah.
got books. He got seminars. He's got testimonies from thousands of people. But you gonna still say that he's a hoax and he's a fraud. That to me is that's an illiteracy on a whole nother level.
But you know what I learned, what I was thinking with this, even people, I said, if you have an impact in your community and you're doing work, and you have to, like, because it's hard, like working with black people is a hard task. So it really is, because we have a lot of issues, and we're very our issues are so layered. But I think that people need to, when you do this, when you're doing community work, you have to get into it for the right reasons. Because you may not even be, your work and what you're doing may not even be honored until you're dead. And we got to be accepting of that.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Because look at this movement, look at this wave that the death of Nipsey have caused.
Good point.
You get what I'm saying? So we have to be able to accept that and be like, you know, I'm just going to continue to plant.
Right.
That plant may not blossom until you're dead.
Until
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Like how the connection with the Bloods and the Crips.
Yes.
And how they're all coming together. And so, you know, what my father would always say, what the what do you say, what the enemy meant for bad.
Yeah, for evil. God meant for good.
God means for good. So we, you know what I'm saying? It's deep how that go. But listen, we want to talk about this Don't Mute DC movement that's currently going on in the District of Columbia. And if you are in a anyway, actually all of us, it affects us all, because it's related to gentrification. And but before I can go into it and give you guys any information about it, we're going to pull up Brother Edward, because he knows a lot better than I do about Don't Mute DC, the movement, what's going on the ground, how is this affecting us, the gentrification process in DC. Brother Ed, are you there?
Yeah, I'm on here.
Oh, good thing, good thing. Peace and blessings, brother. How you doing today?
Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. What's happening?
Wa alaikum assalam. Don't Mute DC. I know you're on the ground as it relates to this movement. Hashtag Don't Mute DC. Give us a little bit of insight as to what's going on out there in DC as it relates to the go-go music.
Okay, so on Florida Avenue and 7th Street Northwest, if you're a Washingtonian, if you grew up in DC or you're familiar with DC in any way, ever since I was a child, when you go on Florida Avenue and 7th Street, you're going to hear go-go. It's going to be black. They got speakers outside the store, and they've been playing go-go every day for 25 years. And so now you got new people moving in as a result of gentrification, and they don't know the culture, they don't understand go-go, and to them it's offensive. And so you can't move next door to a church and then complain on Sunday about tambourines and drums and organs.
Right.
So what happened? So what happened?
They made them remove the speakers, and so when they made them remove the speakers, people began to like, what's going on?
So this
new ownership and T-Mobile made the store remove the speakers.
So there's a T-Mobile store on Florida Avenue, and they've been playing go-go out of their speakers for over 20 years.
Okay.
Without an issue.
25 years.
25 years. The community never had an issue with it.
And it's the law. When you move into a new locality, you cannot change the culture.
So, and now has these new people moving into the community, and they don't like the go-go music. And for those who are not familiar with go-go,
and as a result, they done woke up a sleeping giant.
Yeah,
they had a go-go last night on U Street. I'm talking about the whole 14th and U was out there. The police blocked the streets off.
Yeah.
And then they got one right now on Florida Avenue in front of the store right now. They got a go-go at 12 at noon today. They've been going out there since noon. So we just anticipate this going on. We use this as an organizing mechanism for our community.
Yes. Yes.
This is our culture.
Brother Ed, give me a second. Let me share with those who are not familiar with go-go. Go-go is a form of music that was actually created by Chuck Brown. Actually, the godfather of go-go was Chuck Brown. He passed on a few years back. he created this new form and style of music, and it's been popular ever since. Created mainly here in the DC area. It kind of spread out a little bit. I know Jill Scott picked up some of the go-go music and heard, and Jay-Z had go-go in one of his songs. But I think the most
School Days, the movie School Days,
Yeah,
EU
School
played the School
Days.
Days. Salt and Pepper did a song with EU.
The EU, Doing the Butt is probably the most popular one. That kind of went nationwide, Doing the Butt, that song. But anyway, that's go-go music. But go ahead, Brother Ed. You said we can use this.
So we're using this as an organizing mechanism because, you know, it's a slap in the face. It's disrespectful. It's our culture, our city, and people coming in, white millennials who now don't understand our culture. It's our city. And I don't think they anticipated that we would respond as such. But it's certain things that are uniquely DC. And if you attack DC, we're going to rise up. Last year, Mayor Muriel Bowser made a statement about mumbo sauce.
Yeah.
And she didn't think that she would receive that political backlash when she said something about mumbo sauce. But mumbo sauce is unique to DC.
Right.
It's our culture.
Right. So basically, the
And
people. So
the Don't Mute DC movement is growing.
Yeah. So I want to let people clearly understand what happened. So there was a Metro PCS store on Florida Avenue in the heart of DC, like right around the corner from Howard University. Been there forever. And so the community are telling them that they have to turn the music off now. And so the people have since rallied up. So now they done blocked all the streets off. People can't even get through because there's go-go bands that came and sat up right in front of the store, and it's playing, and they got rallies and crowds of people out there pushing back against.
So the store has always played go-go music loudly.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, from out of the speakers, out in front of the store.
I got you.
I remember millions of times riding past, and that's all you hear.
Okay.
So, but Brother Ed, how can people join the movement?
Just show up. Matter of fact, I was anticipating that y'all do the next Empower Hour out there with the people.
Okay, that's a good idea.
You know,
I'm not against that.
We could just, you know, last night I was on U Street and they had drums, congos, PA systems, they had everything out there. The police blocked the street, and I knew that the gentrifiers definitely didn't anticipate this because now you got go-go everywhere.
Right.
And now Big G, a backyard band, he made a video yesterday. He said he about to get all of the go-go bands together and all of them would be unified and Don't Mute DC movement.
Beautiful, beautiful. So this is rallying the troops and organizing. The people are organizing it. Shout out to Kimon Freeman and Ron Moulton out there. I know they at the front of the organizing lines behind all this. We was attempting to get Kimon on with us too, but he's down there. He's down. I call him. All I hear is go-go in my ear. So he's down there on the front lines. So maybe we can get
That's
him
what I
on
was just
next
listening to. Can you hear this?
Yes. Yep. We can hear it. We can hear your go-go playing. Yep. So the hashtag for this is, if you want to know more information around this movement, is Don't Mute DC. That's hashtag Don't Mute DC. It was trending on Twitter yesterday. And yeah, join it. Even if you can just repost that hashtag, trying to gain awareness and allow people to know what's going on.
A petition or something going around to sign too.
Yeah, I did. I signed the petition myself on change.org this morning.
Yeah.
Yep. So join the movement. If you're a Washingtonian, you definitely want to be in this fight. But everybody cross country, because, you know, this is just an example of how we can push back. We don't have to take it lying down. We don't.
Yeah.
We have power too. So give them hell. Thank you so much, Brother Ed. We appreciate you sharing and giving us.
Praise be to Allah. I'm so hyped up. AlQamar, I'm so hyped up. I seen the video the mayor put out this morning. Don't mute DC.
Oh, good.
Oh, you did?
Okay. Good stuff. All right. Thanks again. Take care.
Peace out.
All right. Yeah. Don't mute DC. Hashtag join the movement.
So if the community says turn your music down, what happens? The police is called or something? Is it like disturbing the peace or something?
I don't know, but what has he was explaining to me? There's no laws against that, so there's not any laws in place that says that you have to turn the music down.
Right, and is it like at the wee hours of the morning? No, the store is closed.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
Okay.
It's just the new people in the community.
I get it. Yeah.
They're irritated, so they want to, get out of here with that. I'm the owner here now, so
Okay.
y'all take that elsewhere. It's the attitude. It is, it's unfortunate.
It is.
Yeah. How about these 3 historically black churches in Louisiana
That was burned.
caught on fire within a 10-day span?
I don't know much about it, but I heard about it.
Yeah.
I heard a little bit about it. It's not catching as much media as it probably should.
Of course not.
Yeah, right, because I think people are saying like they're hate crimes. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit like, I'm just suspicious of like everything now. Like, only because, people have the idea that like in America won't start a war on itself, and I disagree with that. I also understand that situations can be created in order to propel a certain outcome, or to, and so anytime like certain things happen, I'd be like, who did that and why? You know what I mean? I don't. That's just me. And to be honest, it was terrible. This is terrible, and I know. Don't kill me, y'all. But I didn't know it was 3 churches, but when it was the first one, I was just like, let me wait and see how this is going, because I just don't trust this country. I don't trust us in this country.
You're not alone.
You know what I mean? I just like, it's like my distrust is like heightened now. Whereas like anything that happened, I'm like suspicious. Like, what's happening? What is the outcome that they're looking for? What agenda they're trying to drive here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I feel like certain things get covered now, because like when they like put a topic, everything now is like they have to identify people by their race. If there's 2 different races involved, they have to make that the center point. And it could have just been something that happened, and they happen to have a white person and a black person involved.
Right.
But the media takes that and runs with that.
True.
And I'm like, there's an agenda. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I always get this. So when I heard about it at first, now you're saying it's 3.
It's 3.
Yeah.
Within 10 days.
Yeah. So I'm like,
and all the churches are within a few miles of each other.
ooh.
And
they're predominantly African American churches.
All African,
okay.
all black churches.
All
They're
black
all
churches.
historically black churches.
Historically black. Okay.
The last church that they had was interviewing the pastor I watched. His church was been 140 years. Yeah. And they asked him, did they think it was racial related?
What
And
did
he
he
said
say?
he don't want to put that out there.
Why not?
He don't want to put that out there because he don't want to seem like he's drumming that up.
Gotcha.
But my thing is,
Maybe it is. What if it is?
why are we so passive around this subject matter?
With what race?
Yeah, one of the churches, they found I think it was a swastika. Help me out, family. They found a symbol on one of the churches that was a racial symbol, a hate symbol. So it's like, it's no doubt in my mind. I mean, here we go, number 3. What are you going to wait till number 10?
Right.
Before you decide that, you know what I'm saying? We live
That's
in a
what it
racial
is.
society, and there's racists out there that does racist things, as they always have.
And do you know any history of like the area?
Louisiana. Need we say more?
Maybe we see more. Right.
That's the South, deep South.
Right.
Deep South. So I just,
And no suspects, nothing, huh?
right. So what comes to my mind is like, at this point, there should be some seriously organizing going on around those churches. There should be no church there that don't have a 24-hour lookout. The brothers, where's the brother? You know what I'm saying? This should
Might
not
gotta get up
after
off their knees.
I don't get it.
Well, because you gotta. I mean, you've never been a Christian, huh?
No.
Okay, never been in the church, like
Yeah, I've been in
a member.
No.
You
No.
visited.
Yes.
You stepped in and out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you have to understand that you don't understand the psychology then behind, like, Christianity. There's like a psychology behind that, where we are all one blood. Christ died for everyone. You know what I'm saying? There is no race as far as only the human race. Like this is yeah. So when things happen, that's why you see him probably like apprehensive. You know, like, do I really want to put that out there? Not really, not as a pastor, because that's not what Christianity is about. Christianity is not about division. It's about unifying people under the belief that Christ died for everyone's sin. That's kind of what unifies everyone. So when these things happen, they may know it's race related. Like, I feel like our ancestors who still used to gather in churches, because it was when you had Jim Crow, you know, it was very obvious. There was no guessing.
Right.
You know, when people came and burned crosses, and there was no guessing there. But the society we live in now, you know, and I'm scared for even my son's generation, you know, coming up, because they're trying to make it seem like we have people now that say, oh, racism is a thing of the past. You see what I'm saying? But the way churches function is more so like you're going to pray that God changes your enemy's heart. I'm telling you,
And
that's
in the
a part of
meantime,
it.
in
Yeah.
between time, how are the congregants protected? How is your
They
your
used to carry
real estate
guns
protected?
back then.
The deacons of defense. I was going to say that. What
Yeah.
happened to the deacons of defense and, you know, protecting what is yours? So you just going to bow down and accept that somebody is burning down all these churches, and so your church is in the line of fire, and you going to pray about it? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They prayed about far worse.
Wow. And in the meantime and in between time, your church get burned down, and what do? You just accept that?
I think when we organize, I think the people who are not, and I'm sure there are Christians there, and there are Christians in churches who don't subscribe to that way of thinking. Or we're just going to pray. Trust me, they're there. They are there, and I think those are the ones that need to, like you said, mobilize, kind of get together. And yes, I think they have. If we're looking for a lot of these leaders to do that, we're going to be disappointed. It's not going to happen. There might be one or two, but for the majority, not really.
Well, Cedar, what you saying? I know you got something to say to this. I know. What's she saying? I mean, I swear I don't want to defend nobody. Offend nobody out there. But for me, it's such a slave mentality to go about your life like that. It's like you have the power vested in you to do something about this, but you choose not to. And so you and those around you suffer because of it, because of your unwillingness to fight and defend yourself. And then the bullying gets worse.
So what are you suggesting they do?
I think they need to organize, bring back the deacons of defense. There shouldn't be a church out there that don't have round-the-clock watch service. The brothers need to be out there if it takes guns in hand. So if this is your property, what's the stand your ground law? They do it all day, every day. Somebody coming on to destroy your property. You don't have the right to defend your property and yourself. There could be people in that church sleeping.
Yeah.
You know
it
what I'm
happens.
saying? So you don't see that there's a need to protect yourself and to protect what belongs to you, and you just want to let somebody destroy it.
But look at when the bombing of those, I think it was the 4 little girls in the churches. You remember in the church, right? Those kids were in the basement when that happened. So like you saying, someone can be exactly
right.
So I think it's up to us, like you said, to protect ourselves.
Of course, nobody else is going to do it.
Because how much investigating is happening around these incidences, and
It's
why
crazy.
I'm interested in that, you know.
And I think about the nation and how the nation checkpoint everybody coming through the door, even for regular service. You know, Juma
really?
service. Yeah, the nation ain't having that, and that's for me. That makes common sense. If you know we're in a war zone, you know there's people out here who hate us and want to cause us harm. Dylan Roof just knocked off 9 folks in a church praying. You know what I'm saying? So if you know all this is going on, why not take steps to protect yourself and those who come to congregate in your church?
I agree.
You know, that's what men should do. Protect those around them. Protect the community. So it boggles my mind.
Churches are more business oriented now, and they don't want to rock the boat and lose that money.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
That's insanity. Wow.
But it's a
Okay.
real thing. I think especially those mega churches. But I get the feeling that these are not like mega churches. These are like
Right.
family churches
Right.
that they're burning.
And
you know
how
what I
you
mean?
making money if your church burned down?
You'll be surprised.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to
What do you
understand.
mean? Like, you don't need a church building to pick up an offering. You know that.
Oh.
People are still going to give their money.
Oh.
I remember where I was at
Wow.
the church in New York that I was a member of. They were remodeling. We had church in the basement for months until they were finished with upstairs, and it was just a little tight little basement space. We've had church outside.
Oh.
We've had church at the park. It doesn't matter. It's the people that really makes the church, not the
True.
building.
True.
Right. So that machine that we call church is still going to go on with or without the buildings.
Oh wow.
We need to recognize that.
Interesting
Yeah.
stuff. Well, yeah. So this three. I mean, I don't know what they're doing.
Wasita have a question.
Okay.
She was saying, why don't the nation help these Christian brothers organize?
That's a good
That's
question.
a good question.
That's a good question.
I don't
mean,
think they would be against that.
not
though.
at all.
Yeah,
I'm
because
sure
I've
not
seen the
at all.
nation come to stand side by side with people that have completely different beliefs from them.
Yeah. And the minister is always teaching inside of churches,
Yeah.
so I'm sure
Yeah.
he's gonna have something to say about this. Yeah, that's a good point. They should come together and assist, if they want assistance, though, because that's another thing. A lot of these pastors are anti-Minister Farrakhan too. So because of how
any religion other than Christianity,
Yeah.
they're not having it.
yeah. But I know a lot of I know personally, not a lot, but some churches who turn their nose down because it's not the teachings of Christ.
Yeah.
So they think that it's not the teachings of Christ.
Right.
So they Nation of Islam. So okay. If you guys don't have anything, one word, brainwash. What's he to say? Yeah, it's a lot to be said as it relates to that. I just don't get it. Michael Jackson's documentary. Did you hear that BET and Oprah are pulling down stuff related to that documentary?
Is it connected to the one guy and something about his false testimony?
Yeah.
They're
From what I understand.
Right.
Again, a lot of this information too, family, is just surface. I didn't really have time to go into any the details and research about these stories.
I think they're backtracking.
Yeah, but what I heard was one of the guys that was on that documentary about Michael Jackson, Finding Neverland or something of that matter, they caught him in a lie. He said that Michael Jackson molested him inside of a train or something at Neverland.
Okay.
Come to find out the train wasn't even built in the time that he claimed that Mike molested him.
Oh my.
So, yeah. So there's holes in the story. There's some holes
So they're
in
kind
So,
no, wrong song.
oh, that's the wrong song.
So are they saying, okay, clearly there's some holes here in this story, so we don't want no part of it.
So, from what I understand, it was supposed BET was supposed to run it for a certain amount of time, and now they've stopped. So you can't even see it no more. Oprah had clips and stuff online about the documentary. She's pulling them down. So I find that interesting.
How do you feel about Oprah, like her doing the whole documentary piece? I think most people kind of blasted her and her bestie.
Yeah.
Because the bestie did the interview with R. Kelly, which, by the way, he's requesting anher one. Did you know that?
Yeah. Oh, for real?
Yes.
No, I didn't know
he thought
that.
it went well. He thought like...
Ooh.
He felt like it helped
him some justice?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
It
so
might
I
have.
Yeah, I was surprised. But anyway, yeah, how do you feel about with Oprah doing that? Like people were saying, this is one of the richest black women or something like that, and this is what you put your money towards. You know what I mean?
I think Oprah was convinced that
Michael.
he did it. I think she was. I don't know why. I don't know
She's
the
a
information
victim.
she had. Yes.
She's a victim.
She's a victim
Yeah.
of child molestation, and so she has.
And I'm not saying that's why, but I think we need to understand even with the R. Kelly thing, you saw a lot of responses, and you saw how a lot of people was coming out really aggressive.
Yeah.
It was a lot of triggering happening with
Yeah.
that, because we have a lot of there's a lot of victim of sexual abuse in the black community. Like,
Right.
it's high. That percentage is over 50%.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know what I mean?
It
So
is real.
right. So something like that. And Oprah may have information, because they're in Hollywood
Right.
that we don't have,
Right.
to make her come to the conclusion that she did as well, which is like, no, he guilty. We
Right.
need to put this out there. But now look what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. They got to pull that. So from what I understand, Michael Jackson's estate is going after him.
I'm
going
touchy.
after
Do
him.
you think that we, as a community, do you think that we should, you know how in your family, it's like what happens in the family stays in the family type attitude? Most black people grew up like that. You don't air
Dirty
family.
laundry. Yeah.
So how do you think that we should handle these type of situations? We see the R. Kelly, we saw Bill Cosby, we're seeing Michael Jackson, and these are, and you see black people kind of wanting to protect them. You know what I mean? Like this brother, whatever his name, Peele, the one that did the movie Us.
Jason Peele.
That's his first name? No,
I think so.
I
Is
don't
that
think it's
Gordon?
Jason.
Jordan
yeah.
Peele.
Jordan Peele. Like Jordan Peele, I think he's married to a white woman, right? And but it's interesting, because it's almost like we pick and choose. Because I felt like
That's true.
it's true, because I was
Yeah.
like, what's the difference? Like, yeah, he's putting out these films, and he's brilliant. He's a
Yeah.
brilliant mind.
Yeah.
I feel like because of that, you see black people really protecting him. Like really, and his work, like we need more of him, and but no one is touching on that. You know what I mean? So now let's say tomorrow something comes up with him in the media. How do you think we should be handling those situations? Like, should we be quick to throw each other under the bus? Should we be protecting predators? I mean, I'm kind of like on the fence about it, because I feel like when certain things happen, I'm like, they're bigger criminals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they don't look like you and I.
Yeah.
That's doing some real damage.
Trafficking children
Right.
all over the world for millions of dollars.
But does that mean that I still don't deal with the predator in my community? You know what I mean? Because he's black?
I said that too. That's a good question. I wish I had the answer to it. What you guys think? What you think, Angie? What I say? I said that it's almost as if the person is famous, for a lot of us, they get a pass. So because you're famous, even if you
Celebrity.
are a pedophile, you get a pass. Because you can sing real good, or you can dance, or you can act real good. So that's what it seems like.
So I think it's influence, because I don't necessarily think it's just celebrity. I think ministers in churches, in people in the community who are having a big influence on the community, like those are the people tend to believe them over the victims. So I don't think it's just celebrity as far as Hollywood. I think it's influence and status that person holds. You know what I mean? I think
Well, why do they do that? Because we hold them in such esteem in the
Yeah,
first place?
I think because we're pressed. I think when I say pressed, I mean we're kind of desperate for positive representation of blackness.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're protecting more than anything else.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's not AlQamar, it's what AlQamar represents.
For me.
Is what I'm I'm protecting.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
AlQamar made it, and she's a black woman, and she's doing great things, and I want to celebrate that. So I'm willing to ignore, because it's not enough AlQamars out there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna protect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's more symbolism
Yeah.
than anything else.
And it's unfortunate we fall victim to a lot of helplessness when we don't control. We're not in our own element. We're not controlling anything in this society.
Yeah.
And so we're a nation within a nation, is like what I like to call it. But the ruling nation is not us.
Right.
So we have to abide by the laws and things and govern by people who don't really have our best interests at heart and really could care less for real. So certain things, how we would handle things in our own nation, we can't, because we have to abide by these laws. So maybe the R. Kellys of the world and and whomever else who's doing some things that are detrimental to the health and well-being of all of us. It would be handled a little differently if we, if we had our own rulership.
Yeah, it's almost
It
like
was making our own
I think
laws.
I think it's symbolism. It's more so like the hope that they symbolize. That's what they symbolize and what they represent holds more weight than this thing that they did.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. So we're torn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also we're at war.
Yes.
So I feel, and
It's
this
a
is what I'm.
desperate state.
Yeah, I'm
It's a
learning that
desperate
we have to. Maybe we need to study, like, I always say, maybe we need to study like how communities function and so forth, like in war-torn countries. Like it does. You do not
point.
operate, think the same, behave the same
Good
in a
point.
war-torn. Like if you grew up in a war-torn. That child, my 7-year-old, is completely different in his thinking, in his behavior, than a 7-year-old in a war-torn country.
Yeah.
So people who are at war,
Yeah.
your behaviors are not, always rational, or
Right.
they don't all. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It looks different. I
Yeah.
think. I think that's how I'm kind of coming to terms with it.
Yeah.
It's like we're at war.
Yeah.
So we're not going to look like your healthy whole individual. No.
Yeah, and we're like sitting ducks in a war, though. We're like sitting ducks because it's like, I don't necessarily see a whole lot of, and I could be wrong, but just from my vantage point, a whole lot of us really attempting to win this war or to get out of this condition. We're trying to maneuver within it. We're trying to get comfortable within a war-torn society as opposed to ending the war, fighting back against those who war against us, or getting the heck out of it completely.
Right, and that's where people migrate, as in war-torn countries. People will pack up and leave that's why we have refugees here that will leave their countries. We have some of us that's doing that. But we don't understand that the war that we're involved in is a global one.
Yeah.
It's not national
That's real.
alone. It's
That's true.
global. So
Yeah.
you're going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And you're going to meet white supremacy.
No doubt.
I don't care.
Whether you know
So-called
it or
white
not.
supremacy. Exactly.
Whether you
And
know it or
you know
not.
what it is? It's just in a different shape, in a different form,
Yeah.
somewhere else. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's funny because you go to some places and it looks all peaceful and people coming to congregate at the church, and you're praying to a big white Jesus and don't realize that it's a symbol of war. Oh, it's a symbol of war. That's deep.
Yep.
Moving right along, unless you guys wanted to add anything. Angie said, wait, BET was going to air the HBO documentary. Really? Are you sure
yeah.
it's BET? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, BET. Maybe it was HBO. I'm sorry. Like I said, all this information was surface that I'm getting. So thank you for that correction. I believe it was HBO that started pulling everything off. Yeah. Haiti. I heard international. I heard that Haiti is going through a severe crisis now, on top of everything else they're dealing with oil. So they're running out of oil. Check this out. There's an oil rig sitting off the coast, been sitting off the coast since February, but they refuse to bring the oil in because they owe a $50 million bill. So the people in Haiti can't even get oil. So now it's a crisis because they're like, if people need to go to the